Welcome back to Four Downs with
Danny J.
and Mr. Wright. So we're going to break down, give you some predictions and what to look for the BYU Toledo game this Friday.
Big game this Friday, second home game.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be nice to have the Cougars back home in the friendly confines of LaVell Edwards Stadium.
With the Rowdy Rock.
Coming up on a Friday night game, so it's a short week for them, short week of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
One less day of healing.
Yeah.
Toledo doesn't need the extra day of healing because they're coming off another bye, so this is second straight week. BYU's playing a team that had a bye beforehand. Toledo's a good club.
They are.
They're a good school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got a real potent offense. They really haven't played anyone this year of note, but they've beat them down. Everyone they've played.
They have. And they've been solid wins. And that's why they're not in the top 25 yet, though, is because they have not had any, wins against really, competent teams.
They played Arkansas State, who, on occasion, they have a decent year.
Yeah.
They got a good rugby team. They played against an FCS school in Maine. That was a beatdown. And they beat up on Fresno.
Yeah, which is probably their most impressive win. Fresno's a much better program. And, I love Fresno. So
let me throw some numbers out here for you, okay? Toledo's offense, they've put up at least 516 yards of offense.
Yep.
Every game. They have the nation's most efficient quarterback.
Okay.
They have the nation's leading receiver in yards per catch at over 31 yards, I believe, per catch.
Wow.
Yeah. They got some playmakers, man. They're fast on offense. They like to sling the ball, they throw it around, and they're accurate.
Yeah.
That worries me considering what we saw last week.
Yeah. I think that's I think this week's game is going to be a lot like last week's, where, defense is really going to be tested with, protecting the pass. If our line can get to the quarterback, rough him up, and our corners can just play tough D, we should have no problem. Especially as with the offense waking up like it did last week, I think we'll be able to get it, but it just depends on that pass protection that we can.
Let me throw another number at you.
Okay.
0. That's the amount of sacks that they have surrendered this year. So
that was just like West Virginia too. This is like a mirror game. Just
D-line has got to get some push. We got to get to the quarterback.
Come on,
when we blitz, we got to get home.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple times last week. One in particular I'm thinking of. Third down, we brought 6. They only had 5 protected. Butch came up the middle, and it's when he jumped because something was up with his knee, and he couldn't quite move laterally. So he jumped. The quarterback just sidestepped, and then because Harvey Longy came too far upfield, there was a hole off to the left. Quarterback scampered around, got the touchdown. That's when he rushed for that touchdown. Things like that kind of worry me coming up against this high-powered Toledo offense. Yeah. So our corners, they're going to throw it deep. They're going to throw it a lot. Mm-hmm. Our secondary's got to be on point this week.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as offense, you get a little taste of success.
I know. It was good to see the offense move the ball and not just like move it, but once they get in the red zone, get in. That was one of the frustrating things about, both, all the games really is when we drove the ball well, we couldn't finish in the red zone. And then, when we didn't get in the red zone, we're not scoring and, or our offense isn't moving at all. So
this season so far, we've had 12 trips into the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
We've converted all 12 into points. So that's fantastic. We got to be getting within that 20. However, we've scored 10 touchdowns. Only 5 times have we gotten points after the touchdown, though. We've missed 1 kick, and we've missed all 4 of our 2-point conversions so far.
We got to be better on that.
Not good numbers in that regard.
No.
But I expect BYU is obviously the best team that the Toledo Rockets have faced so far.
one of the best teams they'll probably face all year too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The mighty Mac.
Oh boy.
They're gonna compete for that MAC title.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get it.
I know they got a new coach, new head coach this year, but he was their offensive coordinator last year. They lost a lot of teams or a lot of seniors to graduation, but man, they look loaded and talented, and they're good. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm wondering how injuries are doing. How's Butch's knee?
Yeah.
How's BYU's health? How's Jamal feeling?
And Taysom too.
Yeah.
That looked like it really hurt when he leaped over two guys, but kind of like got spun in the. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Taysom jumped?
Shut your mouth. I'm just saying, it looked like it hurt. Maybe the goods got a little face mask, but.
So, I think this game is going to come down to our offense. Toledo's got a pretty good defense. I think they've only allowed 10 points per game so far, or the most they've allowed is 10 points.
Yeah.
So our offense is going to have to come up and step up. It is a Friday night game. It is in the friendly confines of Lavelle Edwards. It's it's a little bit higher in elevation than what they're used to, so that should help come later on in the game. They've averaged 10 points given up, but their defense has been solid.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good test for them. It's a good test for us, and I hope we come out on top.
Yeah, and just listening to Coach Sataki talk and say that 10 times fast.
No.
Okay. But just listening to him talk about, they're taking this team serious like they've taken every team they've played and every team they will play serious. They're not looking over this because, Toledo could be, they're from a weak conference and they haven't played anybody good. They're not looking at it like that at all. They're looking at this like this team is going to compete with us and give us a challenge, and we have to bring our best. Which, a lot of teams, when they play teams like Toledo or, they kind of overlook it, and their mentality is more, hey, let's just get the W without getting any major injuries, so then we can prepare for next week when we play, whoever. And BYU's not doing that, and that is a good sign that, from our coaches, because you can't overlook anybody.
Coach Lamb said that this team is a top 25 team in his eye, and they are that good. And so it's another tough test for the Cougs. But it'll be a fun one.
Yeah. I'm excited, and I think BYU can get the W. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think they can pull it off if, one, their defense hits the quarterback enough. I think that's going to be the main thing to look for is, are we penetrating their offensive line?
Are we at least getting pressure, getting in his face?
Yeah, hitting him when he throws, sacks, but at least some kind of pressure so he doesn't have all day to pass. And, when a wide receiver has all day to get open, he's going to get open. A corner can only do so much. So
one thing that kind of worries me looking at the game film against West Virginia, I was really, really impressed with the West Virginia running backs and wide receivers at how patient they were. They sat behind their blocks. They were elusive. They juked left. They juked right. It looked like they were playing NCAA football on Xbox, and they were sticking left and right. And that's going to be the same kind of guys we're playing against this time. You can't arm tackle and expect them to go down.
That's the one thing I was really frustrated with our defense that, last game is they haven't done it all year. My two biggest pet peeves with defenses when they, just try and get that big hit, and then, when you get it, it's awesome. It's a crowd pleaser, but most of the time, you're not going to take them down or arm tackling. And I think BYU did a lot of arm tackling last week, and it's just not going to cut it. And that's why I was so excited about the defense, the previous 3 weeks, is they haven't done that all year. I don't know if it was, an injury with Butch or something, but.
So my keys to this game, you got to get pressure on the quarterback, got to wrap up and tackle. The offense can't turn the ball over. You got to be solid.
Yeah. And wide receivers just catch the ball when it hits you in the hands, and it won't pop up. And we'll cut in, Taysom might only have one interception.
So
or less. So
all right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And this has been Second Down
with
Danny J.
and Mr. Wright. Also, subscribe, like, share.